Realize I probably can go this way. Sorry about the crash, the game just froze on me, so I had to restart Skyrim. But I now have bound bow, which means less stress on the amount of arrows I have. But it also means I need to boost my conjuration and the amount of damage bound objects cause. Fortunately, the bound arrows that the bound bow summons are pretty good. They're one of the stronger arrows, or strongest arrows in the game. And you get 100 of them every single time you summon bound bow. Roll. I should still have some time on renting that bed. So I should be able to. Maybe I don't have a level. Yes, a level. I can level up. In the main game, I could do it on the fly, but in survival, you can only do so when sleeping in a bed.
Astrid, I wanted to talk with you.
What is it now?
Wilhelm said he saw you speaking.
Heard they're reforming the Dawn Guard. Vampire hunters or something. In the old
Pardon me, my lady. Would you care to hear me play my lute?
Well, my health could use a boost. Bound weapons do more damage. I've already picked that up. This means I can, well, overcharge my bound bow. Might not be able to do it immediately since I think I should spend the other one on archery. If I can. Can't. That said, I'm going to spend a little bit more on conjuration. The spell that I'm working on is an adept spell, so I'll need to practice a bit more before I can half it.
You don't look like a pilgrim. Why bother visiting Iverstead?
faster. I wanted to talk with you.
What is it now?
Wilhelm said he saw you speaking to one of the pilgrims on the 7,000 steps. I told you that I didn't want you to go up there.
I know what you're saying. I only wanted to speak to you.
There's about 10 of those story things etched in. And 2 various reliefs along the way.
Keep an eye out for wolves if you're headed the path to High Hrothgar.
That is what you would normally have to worry about, but there's a slight difference now in survival. It could be because of survival, and that's why I ran into a bear and a spider that low. Last time I attempted this, there was a saber cat, however. And that thing. More than just a wolf. Although there's a wolf. That again, that's happened. Darn it. I should have saved. Run into an ice wolf up here. There is something really up. I should just be running into regular wolves, not this. Fortunately, it's not so bad. It just means I'll have to take these steps a lot slower than what I've wanted. At least once I get to the second emblem.
Keep an eye out for wolves if you're headed up the path to High Hrothgar.
something is wrong. I don't know why the arrows are failing to fire so often. What is going on? Three arrows didn't fire properly. Still don't understand why they failed to fire. Alright, so wolf, ice wolf. It should be 3. Alright, next one 4. Doing so will cause animals to not attack you for a certain amount of time. But you have to read all 10 of them. Even with fur, I'm still cold. No, actually not with fur.
Keep an eye out
There's
for
4.
wolves if you're headed up the path to High Hrothgar.
There's also a troll up here. And depending upon your level, there's more than one troll. But I don't know now, since it seems like this is kind of surprising me. against a stronger opponent, it's logical to use the terrain. Although they are weak towards fire and fire-based damage. This should be 5, if I haven't missed something. And then 6 up ahead. It might not be 10, but there's 7 up ahead. This should help keep me warmer. This should be 8 up here. This seems to, I remember there being 10. Each of this tells a story of the Graybeards and how the way the voice became founded. There should be one between here and one right at the Graybeards place. A little bit harder to get up here, but I'd say it's worth it to play survival. There's 9. No, there should be one more. Right there. And I believe it's the Blessing of Kinnerath that it gives you. There's 10th. No, it's Voice of the Sky. Let's see if that's any different. Animals will neither attack nor flee from you. Arrived here half frozen.
So, a dragonborn appears at this moment in the turning of the age. First, let us see if you truly are dragonborn. Let us taste of your voice. Do not be afraid.
Let's switch to unrelenting
Shout
voice.
will not harm us. Dragonborn, it is you. Welcome to High Hrothgar. I am Master Arngir. I speak for the Graybeards. Now, tell me, Dragonborn, why have you come here? We are here to guide you in that pursuit, just as the Graybeards have sought to guide those of the dragon blood that came before you. You are not the first. There have been many of the dragon blood since Akatosh first bestowed that gift upon mortal kind. Whether you are the only dragonborn of this age, that is not ours to know. You are the only one that has been revealed thus far. That is all I can say. You have shown that you are dragonborn. You have the inborn gift. But do you have the discipline and temperament to follow the path laid out for you? That remains to be seen. Without training, you have already taken the first steps towards projecting your voice into a thum, a shout. Now let us see if you are willing and able to learn. When you shout, you speak in the language of dragons. Thus, your dragon blood gives you an inborn ability to learn words of power. All shouts are made up of 3 words of power. As you master each word, your shout will become progressively stronger. Master Einarth will now teach you Ro, the second word in Unrelenting Force. Ro means balance in the dragon tongue. Combine it with Fus, force, to focus your thumb more sharply. Ro.
That just means holding on to the button a bit longer.
You learn a new word like a master. You truly do have the gift. But learning a word of power is only the first step. You must unlock its meaning through constant practice in order to use it in a shout. Well, that is how the rest of us learn shouts. As Dragonborn, you can absorb a slain dragon's life force and knowledge directly. As part of your initiation, Master Einarth will allow you to tap into his understanding of Ro.
Meaning you don't have to spend the dragon soul.
Now, let us see how quickly you can master your new form. Use your unrelenting force shout to strike the targets as they appear.
Fus, Ro!
Well done. Again.
Fus, Ro!
A different one's using it because basically there's a cooldown before you can use your power again. So I guess that's where showing
You
that
learn quickly.
aspect of it.
Once more.
Fus, Ro!
Impressive. Your thumb is precise. You show great promise, Dragonborn. We will perform your next trial in the courtyard. Follow Master Bori.
Nope, this is boring. This one will be the whirlwind dash. basically.
We will now see how you learn a completely new shout. Master Bori will teach you Wold, which means whirlwind. Wold. You must hear the word within yourself before you can project it into a thum. Approach Master Bori and he will gift you his knowledge of Wold.
You can see where the claws would have sunk in to make the marks for this language.
Now we will see how
Very few upstrokes, mostly downstrokes.
Master Ulfgar will demonstrate whirlwind sprint. Then it will be your turn. Master Bori. Vex! Wolf! Now, your turn. Stand next to me. Master Bori will open the gate. Use your whirlwind sprint to pass through before it closes.
Alright. Oops.
Your quick mastery of a new thum is astonishing. I'd heard the stories of the abilities of Dragonborn, but to see it for myself... You were given this gift by the gods for a reason. It is up to you to determine how best to use it. You are now ready for your last trial. Retrieve the horn of Jürgen Windcaller, our founder, from his tomb in the ancient fane of Ustengrav. Remain true to the way of the voice, and you will return. No doubt, the appearance of a Dragonborn at this time is not an accident. Your destiny is surely bound up with the return of the dragons. You should focus on honing your voice, and soon your path will be made clear. Good. Then you will be ready for whatever lies ahead. Dragons have the inborn ability to learn and project their voice. Dragons also are able to absorb the power of their slain brethren. A few mortals are born with similar abilities. Whether a gift or a curse has been a matter of debate down through the centuries. What you have already learned in a few days took even the most gifted of us years to achieve. Some believe that Dragonborn are sent into the world by the gods at times of great need. We will speak more of that later, when you are ready. Dragons have always been able to shout. Language is intrinsic to their very being. There is no difference in the dragon tongue between debating and fighting. Shouting comes as naturally to a dragon as breathing or speaking. In mythic times, when mortal kind was in great need, the goddess Kinnereth granted us the ability to speak as dragons do. For most people, long years of training are required to learn even the simplest shout. But for you, the dragon speech is in your blood, and you learn it almost without effort. We study the way of the voice, according to the teachings of our founder, Jürgen Windcaller. Very few are permitted to study with us here at High Hrothgar. But in your case, Dragonborn, it is a privilege to guide you towards mastery of your voice.
Windcaller's path is told to you through the emblems that you read from the bottom of the 7,000 steps to the top. It tells you about their founding. It's a little bit easier to do that early on in the game outside of survival, it seems, since it seems like it's slightly different to the regular game. So it's a little bit more difficult.
5. Our leader, Parthenax, lives alone on the peak of the throat of the world. When your voice can open the path, you will know you are ready to speak to him.
That's going to be interesting getting up there.
He was a great war leader of the ancient Nords, a master of the voice, or tongue. After the disaster at Red Mountain, where the Nord army was annihilated, he spent many years pondering the meaning of that terrible defeat. He finally came to realize that the gods had punished the Nords for their arrogant and blasphemous misuse of the voice. He was the first to understand that the voice should be used solely for the glory and worship of the gods, not the glory of men. Jürgen Windcaller's mastery of the voice eventually overcame all opposition, and the way of the voice was born. The voice was a gift of the goddess Kinnereth at the dawn of time. She gave mortals the ability to speak as dragons do. Although this gift has often been misused, the only true use of the voice is for the worship and glory of the gods. True mastery of the voice can only be achieved when your inner spirit is in harmony with your outward actions. In the contemplation of the sky, Kinnereth's domain, and the practice of the voice, we strive to achieve this balance.
Which would make a Dunmer Dragonborn kind of interesting, given their connection to the Daedra. Whereas, as he's saying, the way of the voice honors the Aedra.
That is commendable. But remember, the dragon blood is itself a gift of Akatosh. Do not try to deny that gift. Your destiny requires you to use your voice. Why else would Akatosh have bestowed this power upon you? If you remember to use your voice in service to the purpose of Akatosh, you will remain true to the way. Wind, guide you.
This will be a major one, but I'm going to do a couple other quests first. Primarily Dawnguard, because one of the advantages to Dawnguard is one of the horses that you can get, plus a secondary weapon that'll go with my bound bow. That being the crossbow, which is a very nice weapon. It's going to be interesting to go up there, given how much cold damage you're likely going to get. And that final battle at the top is going to be interesting even more, because you might have a time limit on how quickly I have to do that fight, but that's for later on. You fight the World Eater up there. I'm just hoping that there's enough of an area up there that can be blocked to where you won't freeze to death so quickly, or I find something I'll have more warmth. Because even now it's slowly... I'm slowly taking cold damage. Makes it a little bit different too because there's no fast travel in this version. No, there's no fast travel in survival. You can get onto a cart, I believe, and that still works. Maybe. I haven't tried it yet. But I can't just fast travel down this one again, so I have to go retrace my route. Which actually might make looking at the 10 emblems a good idea. You get some nice views on the way down. So there is that. Got to loot that on the way up. That's not to be cruel, that's because I'll need the meat. One of the most useful ingredients I've noticed for survival is now salt. Because so many recipes for food require salt. And I'm about to be attacked, I just remembered. this attack should come from the Dragonborn DLC. There they are right
You
there.
there. You're the one they call Dragonborn. Then it is too late. The lie has already taken root in the hearts of men. So we shall expose to them the falseness in their hearts by tearing out yours, deceiver. When Lord Mirak appears, all shall bear witness. None shall stand to oppose him.
Too easy to get friendly fire. Whoa. That missed. And that missed. I really need to slow time down. There's a perk that allows you to do that. Bretzen, I think, or maybe Imperial. And this is the opening to the Dragonborn DLC. That is not a good idea to go there just yet. There's a caster down there with who likes to use lightning. Unfortunately, I don't have silent casting just yet. I need to raise my illusion. So every time I'm casting bound bow, it makes a certain amount of noise. Once you have silent casting, you can cast it right next to someone and they won't hear it. There's the tango.
I sense. Nothing. Nothing.
Let him reset. I moved just a little bit too fast. There is one thing that bothers me about it. Seems like you get hungry far too quickly.
Does someone live? More than food. No one hides from the dead.
I barely damaged him with my mace. But this ate right through him. Probably because I've got skills to boost. Alright, how does my use of the bow? I'll pick that up later. He came here looking for a way into this location. However, he was never able to find the claw. And there's a huge bit of irony that's about to come up. In that the claw wasn't in here, in this building. It was in the village all along. But you need to go back up there to turn in the journal to the innkeeper. And then he'll give you the claw.
What could it mean? The return of the Dragonborn? By the gods, it's true, isn't it? A dragon has attacked Whiterun. How could mere
Those
men...
bears are making Miss Timba so angry. I hope you can do something about them.
If I were you, I'd keep away from the barrow on the east side of town. It's haunted. There ain't much more to tell. They're haunted, and you should stay away. Look, I've seen one of the spirits with my very own eyes. When it glared at me, I swear it burned right through my soul. Fortunately, they seem to be sticking to the barrow. I think they're guarding it. Certainly isn't helping my business any. Who'd want to rent a room anywhere near a haunted barrow? Let me see that. I can't believe this. It was all just a fabrication of this Windelius character. I can't believe we were so stupid. Well, least I can do is give you something for taking care of him. If you won't accept it as a payment, consider it a gift. I heard tell of a lad in Windhelm, Aventus Aretino. They say he's been doing the Black Sacrament, trying to contact the Dark Brotherhood. Damn fool. If you're headed up to the monastery, watch your step. It's a long way down.
And now to get the word that's down there. Here's the Hall of Stories. Moth, owl, and wolf. I had that one right. Let's hit it one more time. Each of these seem to pretty much tell a story given the symbolism of all the ones right here. Got two hunters. Although the owl can be seen as wisdom in certain cultures, to a degree rebirth as well. But rebirth, wisdom, maybe. Wisdom and a hunter again. To a degree also, rebirth and the moon. I'm trying to remember what word is down here, but I don't immediately. And it settles on the owl. That being a sarcophagus opening, from the sound of it. Gotta die quickly. I'd rather take a hit from this sword than his magic. Thing to remember in survival is arrows have weight. That's the skeleton up ahead. I may or may not be able to get through this door. It's a master, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. Well, I could get through it. It just might cost a few lockpicks. Seems kind of funny and an expert behind the master. You'd think they'd step up and slow down. Oh, heavy. There's a trap behind that door as well, and might get killed by it.